I love freshly brewed coffee in the morning. The smell of it, so stimulating.
Do you know that coffee is the second most traded commodity in the world, right after oil? But while coffee is very popular, the effects of coffee and caffeine on our health is controversial. There are studies that show that coffee consumption up to 4 cups a day improves longevity, but then there are other studies that shows that coffee consumption increases heart attack risks.
So, what's the mystery? Is coffee a friend or a foe?
Let's start by listening to Dr. Michael Greger of nutritionfacts.org.
What about heart attack risk? In slow metabolizers, daily coffee consumption appeared to double the odds of a heart attack or even quadruple the odds at 4 cups a day, whereas in the rapid caffeine metabolizers, daily coffee consumption was protective, cutting the odds of a heart attack by more than half, or at least until you get up to 4 more cups a day.
Coffee beans are a complex blend of a vast number of compounds, including caffeine and many beneficial polyphenol antioxidants. Now, many of us are slow caffeine metabolizers, which means we take a long time to clear caffeine out of our system. And there are people who are fast caffeine metabolizers. We know that caffeine raises adrenaline levels in our blood. So, slow caffeine metabolizers have the risk that coffee will raise their blood pressure and increase chance of heart disease. On the other hand, fast caffeine metabolizers get rid of caffeine rapidly from their bodies and can make use of coffee's beneficial polyphenol antioxidants to actually lower their blood pressure and improve their cardiovascular health. So the research indicates coffee is good for you if you are a fast caffeine metabolizer and bad for you if you're a slow caffeine metabolizer.
So, let me ask you this. How about coffee without caffeine? And I have a reason to ask you this question because growing up in India, we mostly took coffee in the winter months, colder months, early in the morning, the fresh brewed coffee for the
Mhm,
whole family.
mhm.
Here, similarly, I start drinking coffee only in the colder months. And I realized for the past 2 months, right after drinking coffee, it makes me a little bit lightheaded,
Mhm.
somewhat nauseous. So then I took your suggestion and I changed my coffee routine with 50% coffee and 50% decaf.
Mhm.
And since then, I have been enjoying coffee even more because it doesn't make me feel sick.
Yep.
So, going back to my question, how about decaf?
So it's a great question. If you take decaf, which is coffee minus caffeine, then will you get all the benefits of the coffee antioxidants, but don't have to worry about the negative effects of caffeine? Let's listen to Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn.
I'm a little bit tough on coffee with caffeine. And let me tell you why I prefer my patients to have coffee that is decaf.
Dr. Esselstyn goes over an Italian study that did a detailed research on a group of people who were given coffee with caffeine, tested for arterial function, and then switched to decaf, and then again tested for arterial function. And here is the finding.
It was always the group that was having coffee with caffeine that injures the endothelial production of nitric oxide.
And nitric oxide is very important for the health of our arteries. So the research indicates coffee deteriorates arterial function, but decaf does not.
So, how about tea? I love tea, Darjeeling tea in the afternoon, herbal tea at night. Tell me about tea.
So, do you know that green tea is less processed than black tea and has beneficial effects on our artery function within 30 minutes of consumption? Green tea has caffeine, but for some reason, the caffeine had no negative effect. The researchers suspect it was the phytonutrients in the leaves. Black tea is beneficial as well, but as long as milk is not added. So, if you are a coffee lover like us, and you are not sure whether you're a fast caffeine metabolizer, consider reducing coffee intake and replacing it by decaf, green tea, or black tea.